This is Bob. Bob has very sharp horns. Bob kinda just does his own thing. Perhaps most importantly, Bob is very, very chunky. That makes him dangerous. But we gotta start at the beginning, with Baby Bob. Having grown too big for the sanctuary, I traveled to the swamp. And there we reached 50%, which allowed us to get our second mutation. Then I just ate everything in sight. But while I was AFK, some opportunistic aloes tried to hunt Bob. Though they soon learned the power of Bob's horns and ran off. I lived and traveled and ate in swamp for a long time. Eventually, I ended up in the river delta. Then a dino tried to take a bite out of Bob's butt, but he wasn't gonna let that slide. After so many bites, maybe it was better not to go into the dino's territory. Later on, we spotted our first Rex, and I got ready to fight him. Though, when I got closer, it became clear. The Rex had crashed. So, I kept the little Rex and the big Rex company until he came back. Then, we traveled for a very long time. Eventually, reaching adulthood. And we got Prime. This was going to be extremely helpful for future Rex fights. I took my mutations, and then a lot more traveling. Eventually I came back to Delta, and there was a Rex. Initially, I just wanted some water and wanted to walk past, but this Rex seemed to have other ideas. Bob quickly taught him a lesson that he would not forget. Though shortly after, Bob found himself in a bad situation. 2 big Rexes were out to get him. Luckily, I decided to get the healing faster during rain mutation, so right now I'm healing a lot quicker than usual. I had to get to a better spot where I could get my back covered into a wall or something. I was stuck here for a while, until eventually they finally decided to make their move. Actually won. I could not believe what just happened. I know I kinda just spammed thrash, but Bob lives on. I then saw a dino on land.
No. Wait. Bro, please, bro.
I just sat down next to him. But then I had an idea. I led him over to the 2 Rex bodies. Dino life is rough. Good luck, little Dino. I hope you get big. Logging back in, 3 Rexes had their eyes set on Bob. I went back to the same spot because it's such a good defensive position. They weren't that big, so they were all quite hesitant about fighting me. Eventually, one of them got a little too close. I chased them all away, but Bob is very slow and does not have a lot of stamina, so he had to sit down. Later, I was still kind of following those same 2 other Rexes, but then I saw something in the distance. A group of canny Rexes that were now after those other 2 Rexes. Now, in this situation, with how many cannibal Rexes there were, it was probably a good idea to walk the other way. But still on a high of killing those other 2 Rexes, Bob might have been a little overconfident. Seeing that they seemed to go after me, I quickly headed to a more defensive position. That big prime one is definitely really hurt. He took a lot of heavy hits. But Bob isn't looking too hot either. The story is not over. I definitely could have played that better. I kind of just spammed thrash the whole time. But like I said, the story is not over. You see, Bob's mission to kill Rexes was not yet complete. And somehow, Bob was back. Confused but happy, I quickly went to go and heal off these fractures I had. In search of food, I stumbled upon another Rex. Bob is back. Now, to get my diets back up, I decided to travel to the swamp. Now back in Delta and much bigger, the raptor was not happy about Bob's presence. And this raptor was persistent. Logging back in, Bob saw some dinos, and having been bitten one too many times, he decided to return the favor. Then he was warned about a Rex, and the fooling around with the dinos quickly came to an end. Bob has bigger problems now. Hearing a roar coming from the darkness, Bob had to start preparing for a battle, especially since apparently there were 2 Rexes, not 1. Bob was feeling good. Later on, Bob said hello to the local raptor pack, and they were nesting. Logging back in, Bob immediately spotted a Rex in the distance. But then hearing more footsteps, it became clear. 2 Rexes, both running straight for Bob. After many thrashes, they both met their end at Bob's horns. Bob was really learning to become a Rex-killing machine. Though after this victory, some raptors decided they wanted to try and finish Bob off. After a little bit, it became clear that the server had crashed. When Bob was back, he was healed and somewhere else. But now, different opponents had arrived. I walked towards the cliff, and when the aloe let go, he broke his leg. That was not very smart. Though only shortly after, the server had crashed again.
Hello.
I didn't take them very seriously because they were all quite small. And Bob is like 12 tons of pure muscle. And maybe a little fat. That was very unlucky for that aloe. He got given his aloe back and then got grabbed by that Dino trying to kill me again. Though, he did learn not to mess with Bob. Once his two friends were dead, the last Rex quickly gave up. I decided to log out again because there wasn't much going on anymore, and everything just kind of gathered around me. It was almost like I was like a Disney princess with all the forest animals around me. It felt pretty special. When I logged back in, I did my usual one call to announce Bob's presence. But this time, I did not have to wait long for a fight. I saw the mix pack symbol, but I wasn't sure what it was. Feeling confident, I decided to investigate, but I was not prepared for what came after. That fight was pretty epic, especially with like the darkness and the fog and the rain. And thanks to Gastro Heal, I was able to heal up pretty quickly by eating some plants. Then Bob was approached by a little hatchie. While swimming, more dinos wanted a piece of Bob. Then a lone Rex decided to go after Bob. I tried to act scared by running away to get him to chase me and to commit to the fight. He was not quite strong enough, and his body fed the local raptor population. These must have been the same raptors because they had a nest in the same spot, and they had some cute little babies. Then I made a dumb decision because I wanted to take revenge on the dinos. I decided to try and swim to their island. I may have gotten a little beat up. I almost just died. That was so close, and I definitely panicked a little bit. So now, I'm stuck on this island until I heal up. A little later, I was hearing rustling in the bushes near me. a dino was trying to sneak up on me. It must have thought I was sitting down and almost dead, and that maybe it'd be able to finish me off. Though Bob quickly sent him back to the water. Bob found an opening to get back to mainland eventually. Then I met a little Blippy. He even gave me a little bit of food. What a nice little guy. Then he got murdered right in front of me. Bob was traumatized. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. What I didn't expect was for Bob's life to be ended by his own species. I think what happened was that those other Rexes were together with that trike, and they were like, we'll go for those other Rexes, you go get that trike, and we'll kill everybody. I played this on official servers, so stuff like that happens quite often. It's an unfortunate way to go, but Bob had a good life, and he will forever be a legend. I hope you enjoyed the video. I worked very hard on it. It is probably the longest I've worked on any video ever. So if you enjoyed it, let me know what you thought in the comments. And I hope to see you in another one.